What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with my Browns Panthers Week 1 preview as Browns football is officially back this Sunday when Jacoby Brissett and the Cleveland Browns head to Charlotte, North Carolina to face off against old friend Baker Mayfield and the Carolina Panthers. And of course, the main storyline heading into this game is Baker Mayfield going up against the team that pretty much gave up on him and decided to trade for a guy who is extremely horny. That's pretty much the way it is. And yeah, a lot of people didn't like the fact that the Browns traded for Deshaun. If you ask me, looking back at it, I kind of wish Roger Goodell put Deshaun on the exempt list, so this wouldn't have even happened. Now, who would we have gone after if Deshaun was placed on the exempt list? Probably Jimmy G. But yeah, I mean, on the field, Deshaun is an absolute monster. But all this hullabaloo off the field, I hope this isn't going to be a distraction. I don't think it will be, but if it is, it's going to get bad. Yeah, people are going to be blaming the Deshaun thing if we start losing games, you know. But I mean, it's going to happen. And it's going to be interesting to see how this team deals with adversity. You know, if we lose 2 or 3 in a row, how is this team going to react? As long as Kevin doesn't lose the locker room, I think we'll be fine. You know, it seems as though the other players really like Deshaun Watson. You know, they haven't turned on him or anything, and they're truly with him. You know, he's a very good player. It's just off the field. I don't know why he did what he did, but my God, that dude's got a problem. He needs to get that addressed, and I know he is getting that addressed. So hopefully he gets better mentally with that whole situation. Yes, that's just weird. Why so many masseuses, bro? For real. Why so many? Damn, you only need one. Sheesh. I mean, these aren't Lay's potato chips we're talking about here, you know? You can't have just one. No, you can. You can have just one. Mm-hmm. You don't see me going to freaking 50 barbers, right? I mean, damn, I only got one. For real. But I know a lot of people didn't like that trade, and I understand it. But here we are, you know? No Deshaun for a couple weeks until week 13. And then when he comes back, we'll see what happens. But until then, we got Jacoby running things. And honestly, I have all kinds of faith in Jacoby Brissett to get the job done. You know, people think Jacoby is an absolute scrub, and he honestly isn't. Now, I'm not saying he's a superstar. If anything, he's kind of barely above average. But he's still a pretty good quarterback, and he can definitely hold it down until Deshaun gets back. That's for sure. But looking at this game, on paper, this is going to be a doozy. You got our defense going up against Baker Mayfield, a guy who they've practiced against every day for the past couple years in some cases, like Denzel Ward, Myles Garrett, who was here before Baker, among others. And then you flip it and you got our offense against their defense. So essentially, this is going to be one gigantic chess match. And in my opinion, the deciding factor will be coaching. Which coach will make the best adjustments? Kevin Stefanski or Matt Rule? I'm pretty sure everyone's going to say Kevin Stefanski because Kevin Stefanski isn't a bozo and he can actually get the job done. Now, at times, his play calling can get a little questionable. But for the most part, he knows what to do. You know, he ain't an absolute loser like Hugh Jackson or Freddie Kitchens. He's the best coach we've had in a very long time. Yeah, for sure. And I love the coaching staff around him too, especially Bill Callahan. That dude has turned some guys that were kind of on the offensive line into absolute studs, for sure. I hope he sticks around for a long time. I think he will. I don't know if he'd really want to leave, you know, this situation that he's got going on here. Unless he gets a higher up position, like coordinator or something. I don't know. But would a team really give him the playbook? You know? I don't know. Hard to say. We'll see what happens. But yeah, Panthers defense is very good, very talented, especially in the secondary. They got guys like J.C. Horn, Dante Jackson, among others. They have Shaq Thompson, I'm pretty sure. I know their defensive front is absolutely nasty. They got Burns coming off the edge. And if he's going up against Jedrick Wills, well, all I'm going to say is I hope Jedrick Wills can keep up with him, at least hold him off until Jacoby gets the ball away. And it's going to be a key with a guy like Burns coming off the edge. Jacoby has to get the ball off quick. You got to mitigate that pass rush. All right. It's going to be interesting to see how they do that. I'm sure Kevin will have a good game plan and he'll be able to scheme guys open because it's going to be tough for their defense to contain Amari Cooper for a long time. Same thing with DPJ. And then you got our run game too. How are they going to stop our run game for a full 4 quarters? You may be able to for like a quarter or 2, maybe 3, but for 4 full quarters, it's very hard to stop Chubb and Hunt. Mm-hmm. I've seen it where teams have been able to shut us down for 2 or 3 quarters, and then we just start breaking off these huge runs in the 4th quarter, and then that's it. Now, on the flip side, I want to see how we stop McCaffrey. If McCaffrey can stay healthy for the full game, that is, because he's had injury issues the past couple of years. That's for sure. And I know fantasy owners are hoping that he can stay healthy for a full season, or at least most of the full season, too. I don't think he'll be able to stay healthy for a full season, but at least a majority of it. That's for sure. But one very underrated thing that I'm going to be looking at in this game is our special teams. Because we got a very good punter who can definitely boot it. But also, we got Cade York, who has been known to hit it from 50-plus yards. At least he was doing it in warm-ups. I'm sure he could definitely do it in a game situation. I mean, he was looking really good in the preseason, too. He did have a couple misses, but they were close. In fact, those misses were the reason why we lost those 2 preseason games. But of course, preseason games don't matter. So, yeah, I'm sure he'll adjust and he'll work on his kicking motion and everything. But yeah, I'm really excited to see Cade York out there. It's going to be fun. And I'm sure, if the situation calls for it, he's going to be the guy that we go to possibly win the game. Because he's the guy that we can trust for the first time in a while. We haven't really been able to trust our kicker, really, when it comes to long-range kicks. I think the last one we could really trust was Phil Dawson. And of course, he's a legend. But, yeah. For those who are new to the channel, this is what's about to happen. I'm going to give you guys my 3 keys to a Browns victory. And then I'm going to talk about a player to watch. And then I'm going to give you my final score prediction. And then we're going to head on out of here. All right? So let's get on with the 3 keys to victory for the Cleveland Browns this Sunday against the Carolina Panthers. Key number 1, get after Baker Mayfield. Simple enough, right? Get after him, rough him up a little bit, have him hearing footsteps, maybe seeing ghosts too. Force him to making mistakes. And that honestly leads into key number 3, which I'll get into in a little bit here. But yeah, key number 2, take care of the football. I cannot stress this enough. Because we cannot afford to give Baker Mayfield and the Panthers offense short yardage. We got to have long drives down the field, taking up huge chunks of play clock, wear down their defense, and then hopefully our defense can go out there and force a 3 and out and get their defense right back out there to continue the torture. And then, key number 3, force turnovers, take advantage of said turnovers. Something that this team really didn't do at times last year, especially in that one Ravens game. The same Ravens game where Jack Conklin got hurt. Yep, defense balled out in that game. They forced, 4 turnovers, but we couldn't take advantage of them because Baker Mayfield was playing like a bum at the time. Now, hopefully, we can force Baker into some bad throws and maybe Myles Garrett can get past his blocker and just absolutely, force a strip sack like he did last year and maybe score on it again. That'd be cool, though. But yeah, I could really see these things happening here for the Browns. And the biggest key, of course, is taking care of the football. That's the biggest key for us, especially when it comes to running the ball. You know, and we can't really have too many 3-and-outs because we don't want to wear down our defense, especially against McCaffrey and company, because they'll kill us if that happens. Now, I'm going to get into my player, or in this case, players to watch. And to nobody's surprise, it's Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. The two guys that have been the catalyst of our offense for so many years, the last couple of years. Essentially, the way we do things is we hit you over and over again with Chubb and Hunt. And then by the fourth quarter, the defense is on their hands and knees begging for mercy. And then Chubb and Hunt start breaking off long runs. And that essentially puts the defense out of the misery. Yeah, right there. So to nobody's surprise, my players to watch in this game are Chubb and Hunt, especially with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. They're not going to want to put too much on him too early. They're going to rely heavily on the run game like they did in previous years with Baker. I think that's what they're going to do. Now, as for my final score prediction, this is going to come as a shocker, but I have the Browns winning. Surprise, surprise. But I got the Browns winning 28-17. In fact, I think it'll be 21-17 Browns late in the game, and the Browns will score essentially the dagger touchdown, and we'll win 28-17, and we will win our first opener game, week 1 game, since 2004. And we would win our first season opener on the road since 1994. So essentially, that's low-key 2 streaks being snapped in 1 game. You'll love to see it. So let me know what you guys think of this video in the comments. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, hit the bell. Also become a member for exclusive perks. Now, I'm sure you guys are wondering, am I going to stream this game on Sunday? The way it's looking, unfortunately, no. Due to the fact that I have no internet. And of course, for those who don't know how computers work nowadays, you need Wi-Fi to be able to access the internet, which is something I do not have right now. Hopefully we'll get it back by the weekend, but not looking good, guys. So let me know what you guys think. As always, I'm CrazyDog99, and I will see you guys later in my next video. Let's go Browns, and I'm out.